The term locking in has been, you know, considered equivalent to grinding and hustling. So we have been hustling and grinding in the outer world, and we decide to lock in to grind more, to turn ourselves into something so that we could be more productive, and so that we can be a better version of ourselves for the society, for the employer, for the public to watch us. Like whatever we are doing is a grind or a hustle, so that we could feel relevant and respected out there. But my version of locking in does not involve any sort of transformational commitment with myself. I haven't logged in to transform my physical body. So, for an aesthetic look, I haven't logged in to learn a new thing, no skill. I did not lock into grind. I didn't lock myself into to struggle or hustle or to turn out to be a better version of myself in the eyes of the society. Why I logged in was the reason was that I wanted to spend more time with myself without any expectation, because we have been in a world, in a generation that we do not spend time with ourselves. Not at all. And whatever we do in our lives, whatever smallest things we do it for some purpose, with an expectation of an outcome. Even if we meditate, even if we do yoga, or even if we read a book, we do it in expectation of an outcome, a positive outcome that will impact our lives professionally, or at least in front of the other people. Like even if we are working on our bodies, we are not working on our bodies for ourselves, for our better health. We're doing it for so that people can praise us, they can look at us, and that is how we will get the validation, the right amount of validation. And our hard work and our struggle would you know be a good outcome. But I had no such reason to lock in. The only reason I had was that I haven't spent time with myself. And when I thought about it, it you know just hit me so hard that not only me, but most of the humanity does not have time to spend with themselves, not even an hour of a day. I hear people saying, when they talk about even sitting in a meditation or alone, so they talk like I don't have time. And that's true. People don't have time, because I have been in a place where I didn't have time to sit with myself. And even if I had time, I had no space for that, because the physical space is a mental space. The space that you live in, the environment, that the people that you live with, doesn't only carry physical presence, but it also has an energy around it. And so if you're living with people, if you're living with people who are occupied and who are hustling and who are hurrying up in life, it's not only that you will be able to individualize yourself from them. Every human being carries some amount of energy which is, you know transferred outside in the universe, outside in the air, outside in the place that you are in. So if I am surrounded by people who are hurrying up, and even if I do have time for myself to sit in, I will not be able to do so because I am attracting their energy. And why are spiritual and meditational activities done in solitude, silence, and peace? Because these are some activities that gets easily disturbed by noise, not only, you know, actual noise, but the energy, the noise that energies make. And that is why they are done in a specific place, because the energy has to be maintained, the energy of people in that space, or if the people that are in that space, even despite sitting silently, if their brains are not silent, if there is chaos in their brains, the entire space gets filled with that energy, and so you are not able to practice your meditation, etc., or your time in peace, and you are not able to sit with yourself because you can sense that energy even in physical silence that doesn't, you cannot hear with your ears, but that energy is very evident, the chaos is very evident. And so I logged in to be in a space where there is no energy apart from myself, because it is impossible for you to sit with yourself, because we all know very evidently, in the presence of some other sort of energy apart from you, you start feeling uncomfortable. So to be with that energy, either a blank space or my own energy, my own thought, my own reflection of life, I would like to sit with that. And that is the reason that I logged in without a purpose, without the intention to grind, to prove to something, to someone else, or even to myself. I'm not on a journey of betterment, because betterment is a social idea. It has nothing to do with the nature. And I'm on a journey, not on a journey, I'm just existing. I'm existing in peace with myself. And so I found it absolutely necessary to lock myself in. At least I needed some time. In 30 years of my life, I've never got this peaceful time with myself, away from all the responsibility, away from all the expectations or hustle or hurrying up every day, not having time, but having time to scroll through reels, to watch Netflix, to do everything, but not to sit with myself. And most of the world is running like that only. Because how would you sit in silence? Social media is chaos, social Netflix is chaos, everything that we watch, we consume, etc., what we do, doing, consuming, etc., is a form of chaos, because you're not sitting with yourself. You can do that, surrounded by people, surrounded by family, surrounded by friends, colleagues, etc. But sitting in peace is something that needs an empty brain. So we can do everything, and we are doing everything, but we say we do not have time. We have time. Time is one thing that all of us have. We have time to watch Netflix, we have time to go to movies, we have time to spend with friends, we have time to drink, smoke, have sex. Like, we have time for everything because all of it is chaos. But sitting idle with yourself, somehow we say we do not have time. And I am not criticizing people over that, because sitting in silence requires a sense of good amount of energy around you. In an area, in a space filled with chaos, you cannot find peace. It is not possible. Maybe people who have been practicing meditation in silence for years and years, they've been so expert and masters of it, they may practice it, they may do it. But I'm talking about a common human being who is exposed to daily life struggles, who is exposed to noise, chaos. Maybe they are you know encountering violence on a daily basis. Maybe they see their neighbors fighting, quarreling, or maybe they see an accident every day. So to on a daily basis, we are looking at so much chaos, we are experiencing so much chaos, we are listening to so much chaos, and we are being exposed to it in every possible way that we could think of, to the extent, to the highest extent of our own imagination. We are exposed to chaos only, and so we are bringing that chaos in our locking in phase as well. Hustling, grinding, not giving enough space for our brain to heal down our nervous systems. The idea of locking in is not choosing solitude. What, to my understanding, why we choose locking in is that we want to get away from the society for some time, and we wish to come out as a, you know superstar after that lock in phase. And so in the entire duration of our lock in, we have this intention and this expectation and this responsibility on our shoulders, that we are doing it for a purpose. So why I say that I logged in but not to grind? Because no purpose. I do not want to come out in front of the society after a particular period of time to show myself that I logged in and I have come better, that I have arrived in this world. I'm untouchable now. But I have no intentions like that. And why is it important? I have understood the importance of locking in, but to exist, just to exist, and nothing else. And it doesn't take much. It just takes a little amount of courage to set yourself apart from the social expectations, and from your expectations from yourself as well. What I have realized is, when I was staying with my family in a city, it was a chaotic life, too much chaos. And I used to meditate, and I used to try to find ways of, put myself in solitude. And so I meditated, I read so much, and that was the time that I found myself in solitude. So I had to do all of this struggle. But since the time that I have moved away and I have started living alone in a mountain, I do not find the need of sitting and meditating, because I believe that my mind is comparatively so much at peace, and I am improving. And there is no need to calm my mind, because the mind is already calm. It is nature. The nature of the mind is to be calm. We only make it disastrous by putting in external expectations into it. And so locking in has turned out to be a very good phase of my life, although I'm not getting out of this phase as a superstar. That's not the intention. It might be boring, but yeah, that's the whole point of living, to exist in peace. It's a new point of view. I just thought about it, and I thought I should share it with you. Lock in without the intention to grind. I hope more people maybe consider it or think about it, because it really gives peace. It really gives peace of mind that you do not have a goal in this lock-in period. Every goal is another expectation and another hustle, another struggle. Many people say that they love it, but on the surface they say that they love hustling and struggling, but then their nervous system is not doesn't tell the same story. It's just a coping mechanism so that they do not feel ashamed or a failure, etc. Like, how can human body or any living being love struggle? Why would a lion or an elephant struggle unnecessarily? Nobody struggles unnecessarily. They just find ways of feeding themselves just enough. But we are trying to create empires. We are trying to create our image in front of people. Nature doesn't care about your image. So if nature doesn't care for it, you should not care for it, because it will give you anxiety. You will have more responsibilities and expectations on your shoulders. We can find ways of having that food for us. Many people can look at it as compromising, but it's not compromise. It is not compromise, because what we are having right now in the world, the external world, the society, the technology, etc., whatever is there right now, it was not there 1000 year ago, but still human beings existed. And so it is not necessary. It is not a compromise. Compromise is what we do against nature, what we do against our nervous system. How can we say that we love grinding? Nobody does. It's a coping mechanism to tell yourself that you are not a failure. And why we feel like a failure? Because we are so attached, our identity is so attached with the society's approval. And we will never feel like a failure or a disappointment in ourselves or in front of the society if we just get away from this loop, if we stop giving so much respect and attention to the society's expectations. And then the time might come that we'll be able to lock in without the need of grinding at all. I hope maybe I shared some thoughts that you might reflect on. I'd really like to hear your opinions. So drop them in the comment box down below, and I'll see you again. Bye.